Welcome to the Wonder Woman workout. Now, in light of the new Wonder Woman movie coming out, we decided to perform Gal Gadot's full body circuit, how she got in shape for the movie, and I have a lovely guest, my girlfriend Michaela.
Hi.
To be the Wonder Woman today and perform this workout. And we're going to be breaking down some of the exercises, what to keep in mind, and also just how it feels in general. So are you ready, Michaela?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So as you can see, we're just performing some full body warm-ups to make sure you're ready for this pretty intense circuit. Now there's gonna be 3 to 5 rounds of this circuit, and it is full body. It might not look intense right away because it's only body weight, but when you perform these exercises back to back to back, they definitely get a lot harder than you think. So we wanna make sure we're ready for it and we're good to go.
These are no joke either. They look rather easy, but they're actually a pain in the ass.
So the first exercise of this circuit is going to be side squats or lateral squats, which is essentially you're taking your body laterally, and this is really working on your quads and glute area. It's really strengthening the stabilization of the knee and also the mobility of the ankle. So you really try to keep your toes pointed straight forward. If you're flaring them out too much, it's kind of ruining the exercise a bit. So really try to keep them pointed forward at all times. You're really accelerating up, and then as you squat down, you're gonna be decelerating that position. So it's a pretty damn good movement. It's a lot more difficult than it seems. And once you complete the 12 repetitions on one side, you're gonna be then going right into the 12 repetitions on the next side. So it's pretty difficult, and a lot of times body weight movements can be a little bit tricky because at first you're like, body weight, this is easy. I'm used to lifting a lot of weights. Whenever you're doing body weight, especially back to back, it makes the movements a lot more difficult, but it's not only testing the muscular endurance, it's also testing the cardiovascular endurance too with a circuit like this. So it's very good, especially for someone like Gal Gadot, where she's on set for hours and hours at a time. She's doing some of her own stunt choreography, fight scenes. She wants to make sure she has that muscle endurance and also the proper strength and musculature to be able to pull off those kind of movements and stunts and not get injured. So something like this is very beneficial, not only to look better, but also to perform better too. So now that we're done with the side squats, we're moving on to the lunges. So the lunges, pretty simple. You're in a stationary position here, be lunging forward, and now you can do it in a unilateral motion, which you're concentrating on one side, getting all the repetitions on one, and then moving on to the next. Or you can do it in an alternating fashion where you're going from one to the next here. And again, it's really hitting the quadriceps and also your glutes as well. You wanna make sure you have an upright torso, you're not leaning forward. There's the 2 exercises down. Now we're moving on to the next one. All right, the next exercise is going to be bear crawls. Now this is pretty much a full body exercise here. And there's a few things to keep in mind when performing this exercise. To get in the proper position, what you want to do is get on your hands and knees, just like so. And once you're in this position, the feet are going to be just about as wide as hip, hands are going to be just about as wide as shoulder, and you'll be elevating the knees upwards. So immediately, everything has to be nice and tight. You can tighten that core up, but you're only really elevating the knees a couple inches off the ground. Once you're in this position, you're ready to start the exercise. And now you're going to be moving your arm up, as well as moving the opposite knee, and you're gonna be alternating between the two. And the whole goal is to, as you crawl, you're gonna really try to keep that back as straight as possible. So that way, if you'd imagine putting a cup of water on it, you'll be able to balance that cup of water without it spilling. And that's really the goal here. So it's working your shoulders, your core, your legs, quad, and it's really just an overall full body exercise that really works on that endurance and kind of really helps that core strength as well. We're doing a full minute of these. So we're gonna start the timer, we're gonna crawl all the way down, and then you can go on to the next exercise after that. So now the next one we have is dragons, and it is a static hold, much like almost like a yoga pose, and you're bowing forward almost like you're doing a single leg Romanian deadlift, but you're gonna stretch your hands out in front of you. So you're getting a lot of activation in your hamstrings, a lot of articulation or balance or even stability in your ankle joint, and you really have to engage the core during this whole exercise to really stabilize yourself and make sure you have that strong stretch to hold that position for 60 seconds. And although it might look and even sound a bit easy, once you get in that position and have to hold and have to balance, it makes it a lot more difficult, especially having to hold it for 60 seconds straight.
Damn, those are tough as hell. But we still have 2 other exercises in this circuit, and the next one's gonna be planks with shoulder taps.
Get into the push-up position, feet together, hands placed about shoulder width. Once you're in this position, you're You're gonna be touching one shoulder, alternating to the next. You're performing 10 taps each side. Now, if you have a problem with stabilization, you can widen your stance here, and that's gonna make it a lot easier to hold this position. So instead of having your feet together, you can widen them up a bit, and that's gonna make you have that structural support that much more sound. So that way you can perform it a lot easier, but your core is not gonna have to activate quite as much if you have a narrower stance. So if you want a little bit more difficult, more core activation, have that narrow stance, quick tap, and you're good to go. All right, the last exercise is gonna be the skaters. Now, I used to be a skater when I was a wee lad. Back when it was really popular, got myself some K2s. I couldn't afford the K2 fatties, which was I really wanted, but they were still K2s. Back then, it was pretty sweet. So in the position, you're pretty much just feet about hip width, and you're gonna be jumping from one side to the next side, just like so. You can do a little faster, you can do a little slower, catch yourself. And you can tell my back leg is coming back, and then I'm using a little bit of the force from that back place leg to help propel myself to the next position. Giving a nice jump from here. What you want to do too is try to keep your toes pointed forward as well, trying to flare them out too much, and keep that knee in line with the toes while you're doing it. You can bend over slightly, kind of flexing the hips, and kind of have that nice tight core there. Get in position, jump.
Those are really hard. I did not expect them to be that challenging.
So there we go, that was the Wonder Woman workout. I want to say a huge thank you to Michaela for performing this workout, because, you know, really she did all the work. And I'm just wondering, what did you think about this?
Well, looking at the workout to begin with, I never would have thought it would be something that I did in the gym. But it turned out to be surprisingly very effective, and it felt really good. I was pleasantly surprised by this workout, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone that wants to try something new, change it up.
Yeah, and the good thing is you don't need any weights, you don't even need a gym, you can do it anywhere, so that is one good thing about it. And it obviously works too, so
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us in this video today, Michaela, and also thanks for watching. And as always,
Stay
buff. Yeah.
I'm a sweaty bitch.